Wave your hands if you can hear me. That's right. Wave your hands above your head if you can hear me. Brilliant. Now, touch your head. That's right. Put your hands on your head if you can hear me. Wonderful. Try this. Scratch your armpits like a cheeky monkey if you can hear me. Scratch your armpits as if you're a cheeky monkey. Now this one's difficult. Pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time if you can hear me. Well done. Happy face. Sad face. Happy face. Sad face. Angry face. Silly face. Hello there and welcome to this very special story hunt which has been organised by On Five Libraries as part of Bookbugs Big Splash week. We are going on an adventure inspired by the Big Splash. The story hunt, if you've never been on one, works like this. It's a cross between a scavenger hunt and a storytelling. We are going to start with a game. I am going to give you 10 seconds to go off and find an object. Now, if you're at school or nursery, whatever you do, don't go anywhere that your teachers don't want you to go. So no just running off down the corridor to look for things. Only go where your teachers or the nursery staff have told you that you can go. But if you're at home, it doesn't matter quite as much if you leave the room. Now, the object that you're going to look for might be big or small. It might be bonkers or bizarre. It might be weird or wonderful, but it's going to be yellow. You've got 10 seconds. Go and find me something yellow. Off you go. 10, 9, 8. Go and find something yellow. 7, 6, it can be a piece of paper, stationery, a pencil, a rubber, it could be a toy, it could be a piece of fruit or a packet of crisps. Go and find something yellow. 4, 3, and coming back to the screen in 2, 1, come back to the screen. Well done. Did you find something yellow? Don't worry if you didn't, because we're going to play again. This time, I want you to find something green. You've got 10 seconds. Go and find something green. Off you go. 10, 9, 8. Go and find something green. 7, 6. It can be big or small, weird or wonderful, bonkers or bizarre. 5, 4. Bringing your green object back to the screen in 3, 2, 1, come back to the screen. Well done. Put that object in front of you. If you didn't find anything, don't worry. It's just a game and we're going to play one more time. Now, first of all, I asked you for something yellow. Secondly, I asked you for something that was green. This time, I'm asking for something red. Go and find something red. Off you go. 10, 9, you're getting the idea, aren't you? 8, 7, quick as you can, go and find something red. 6, 5, 4, coming back to the screen in 3, 2, 1, come back to the screen. Well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back if you found all those objects, and if you didn't find all those objects, give yourself a pat on the back for trying. You can sit down for a moment. Right, whoever turned on the video, at the end of this presentation, perhaps you can take a photo of our story hunters with their story stashes and send them to On Five Libraries so that we can share the joy of stories during the Bookbug Big Splash week. Right, I have taught you how to scavenge. Now I'm going to teach you how to story hunt. Stand up on the spot where you are. Whether you're in your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, your classroom, your nursery, stand up on the spot where you are. Now, being careful of anyone or anything around you. After 3, march with me. 1, 2, 3. Chop, 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 chop. Are you marching? Chop, 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 chop. We're going on a story hunt. We're going to the library. We're super excited. But what will the story be? Can you do that with me? Of course you can. Are you ready? Standing up on the spot where you are? Ready to march? Let's go. Chop, 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 chop. We're going on a story hunt. We're going to the library. We're super excited. But what will the story be? Hang on, if we're going to the library, we had better take a bag to carry our library books back in. So you have 10 seconds to find a shoulder bag, a shopping bag, a handbag. If it's mum's purse, make sure it goes back afterwards. A school bag or a rucksack. If you don't have a bag with you today, don't worry. Maybe you've got your lunchbox, but it's not the end of the world if you can't find a bag. You've got 10 seconds. Go and find a bag. 10, 9, I've got my Paw Patrol bag. 8, 7, have you found your bag yet? 6, 5, as quick as you can, find that bag and put that bag on. Coming back to the screen in 3, 2, put your bags on. 1, come back to the screen. Well done. So we've got our bags and we're ready to go to On5 Libraries for our Bookbug Big Splash story hunt. Here we go. Put your hand on the door handle. That's right. Put your hand on the door handle. After 3, with me. 1, 2, 3. Out the door. Bang! Run for the bus. Wait for me. Onto the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Off the bus. Bye! Up the library steps. Chop, 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 chop. Can you do that with me? Of course you can. Stand up on the spot where you are and put your hand on the door handle. Are you ready? Let's go. Out the door. Bang! Run for the bus. Wait for me. Onto the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Off the bus. Bye! Up the library steps. Chop, 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 chop. Right. Put one hand on the door handle. Put the other hand on the door handle. And after 3, we pull. 1, 2, 3. Pull! 1, 2, 3, pull! 1, 2, 3. Ooh! Well, this doesn't look like any 5 library I have ever seen before. We're standing on a beach, and in front of us is a wide ocean. Our story hunt's going to take us out to sea. You'd have to be a very clever, very brave story hunter to go on a story hunt out into the sea. If you think that you are clever enough for this story hunt, scratch your chin and have an idea. That's right, scratch your chin and have an idea. If you think you're brave enough, flex your muscles like this, flex your muscles like this, and flex your muscles like this. So if you think you're clever enough to go on a story hunt with On5 Libraries this Bookbug Big Splash week, have an idea. And if you think you're brave enough for it, flex your muscles like this. And if you are ready to go on a story hunt this Bookbug Big Splash week, after 3, I want you to wave your hands in the air and shout yay so loudly, everyone in Fife. Everyone in Scotland knows how we are celebrating the Bookbug Big Splash week with On5 Libraries. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, yay! Well, I tell you what, if we're going into the water, we're going to need some swimmers. You've got 10 seconds. Go and find yourselves water toys, snorkels, flippers, armbands, swimming costumes. If you don't have any of those things though, you can just pretend to have your goggles on your face. Are you ready? Your 10 seconds start now. Go and find the things that you need. I've got my flamingo. Go and find your flippers, your armbands, your swimming costumes. Maybe you've got some bath toys in the house that you can use. 6, 5. If you don't have anything to hand, don't worry. Just pretend that you're wearing goggles on your face. 4, 3. Coming back to the screen in 2, in 1, and come back to the screen. And I hope at the end of our story hunt adventure, you can send some photographs of you all dressed up to On 5 Libraries so we can celebrate the joy of reading together. Right, we're going into the water. If you've got goggles on, you don't have to do this. If you haven't, pull the goggles onto your face. That's right, pull the goggles onto your face. Let's go. So, front crawl. Can you swim with me? Back crawl. That's it. Now let's swim this way. Front crawl. Very good. And back crawl. Very good. Oh, it looks like there's a ship in the middle of the sea. It's a pirate ship. Arr, me hearties, I be the pirate captain, and I have heard that there be pirate treasure in these parts. We be looking for some brave and clever story hunters to dive down to the bottom of the sea to fetch it for us. Do you think that we should go diving for pirate treasure? If you're ready for our story hunt adventure under the sea, on the count of 3, I want you to wave your hands and shout so loudly that everyone from Glasgow all the way to Orkney knows that we in Fife are celebrating the Bookbug Big Splash in a big way. You ready? 1, 2, 3, yay! Okay, everybody, hold your noses, in we go. And front crawl with me, and back crawl with me, and front crawl with me, and back crawl with me, and whoo! I can see someone sitting at the bottom of the ocean. It's not a shark, and it's not a mermaid, it's a little octopus. Are you going to wave at the little octopus? And oh, the octopus is sitting on something. He's sitting on his treasure. He doesn't want to get off it because he's heard some pirates are trying to steal it from him. He's very sad because the pirates won't share. Well, I tell you what, that reminds me of a story. I think I'll tell it to our octopus and our story hunters to cheer them up. So wherever you're watching this video today, story hunters, I'd like you to sit down on the chair, cushion, pillow, or spot where you've been watching so far as I tell you a story all about a fisherwoman. Now, our fisherwoman was very happy. Her life was simple. She lived in a fishing hut with her husband. And when the wind blew through the door and the windows. And when the rain poured, it came in through the tiles. But they had a happy life together, even if her husband would occasionally complain. I wish we lived in a nicer house with a wooden fence, proper windows, and a roof that did not leak. And one day, our fisherwoman was out in her boat. Can you sail with me? Are you ready? So put your hands on your oars as we go. Row, row, row your boat. Can you do that with me? Of course you can. You ready? As we go. Row, row, row your boat. And as she cast her net over the side of the boat, she pulled out of the water a beautiful, colourful fish. Can you make a fish with your hand? I've got a glove on, as you can see, but all the action is is this. Can you make your fish at home or wherever you're watching the video today? And the fish looked very sad. It said to the fisherwoman, "Let me go, and I will grant your every wish." And the fisherwoman looked at the fish, and she was surprised that it had spoken. And she thought of her husband and how he longed to live in a nicer house. And the fisherwoman said to the fish, magic fish, grant my every wish. I wish I lived in a nice house with a wooden fence around my garden. And when the wind blew, it did not get through the doors and windows. And when the rain poured, the roof would not leak. And the magic fish said to the fisherwoman, "It is done. Go home and be happy." And when the fisherwoman reached her house, sure enough, there in place of her fishing hut was a nice house with a wooden fence around the garden. And when the wind blew, there would be no draught through the door or windows. And when the rain came, it would not leak through the roof. And she told her husband all about the magic fish. And they were happy for an hour. But then her husband said, "This house is too small. No, I think you should go back to see your magic fish and ask for a mansion house with servants to cook and clean for us." And of course the fisherwoman wanted her husband to be happy. And so she got back in her little boat. Can you row with me? Put your hands on your oars as we go. Row, row, row the boat out to sea. And when she got there, she called, magic fish, grant my every wish." Can you remember how we do our fish actions? Out of the water jump the fish. Can you make your fishes jump out of the water? Very good. And the fisherwoman told the fish, she said, "I wish to live in a grand house with servants to cook and clean for my husband and me." And the fish smiled and it said, "It is done. Go home and be happy." And when the fisherwoman reached her house, there was no longer just a nice house. There was a grand mansion house with an iron fence around its grounds. And as she entered, butlers and servants bowed down before her. And as she walked up the marble steps, she entered a magnificent ballroom filled with ladies and gentlemen wearing the finest clothes, eating the finest foods and drinking the finest drinks. And her husband, he was happy for about 2 minutes. I think that this is not enough. We should live in a castle, and all the people of this land should bow down to us as their king and queen. And the fisherwoman longed for her husband to be happy, so she did her duty to him. She got back in her fishing boat. Can you row with me? Row, row, row your boat. And when she rowed far out to sea to where she had first met the magic fish, she called, magic fish, grant my husband's every wish." And the fish leapt out of the water and said, "What is it that you wish for?" And the fisherwoman said, "My husband would have us be king and queen of this land, so that more than just our servants would bow down before us." And the fish smiled. The fish said, "It is done. Go home and be happy." And the fisherwoman rowed home. But instead of a castle or a mansion house, or even a nice house with a wooden fence around the garden, she found her little fishing hut which, when the wind blew, the draft got through the door and windows, and when the rain poured, it leaked through the wooden tiles onto the floor. But when she looked into the house, her husband, who had complained about having everything that his heart could have desired, was no longer there. And you know what? She was happy for the rest of her days. Give yourself a big pat on the back and take a round of applause. Thank you for joining in with our story. I hope it's cheered our little octopus up. Oh, it has cheered our octopus up. What, you want us to have a look at your treasure? Shall we have a look at his treasure? Let's open the treasure chest and... The treasure! It isn't gold or silver or precious jewels. It's a storybook. I know, you've got 10 seconds. I want you to go with the person who turned this video on for you and find your favourite story, so that when this video ends, we can celebrate Bookbugs Big Splash Week by sharing stories together. If you're at school or nursery, maybe your teachers or the nursery staff will choose a story and you can share it together when the video ends. You've got 10 seconds. Go and find your book. 10, 9, I've already got mine. It's Grim Fairy Tales. It's a wonderful story. I'm looking forward to that later. 8, 7, quickly go and find your book. Maybe it's a comic book. Maybe it's a magazine. Maybe it's a story tape. Go and find your favourite story. 4, 3, and coming back to the screen in 2, 1, come back to the screen. And I think it would be a wonderful way to celebrate Bookbug Big Splash Week if you and the people who turned the video on for you could take a photo with your favourite story and send it to On 5 Libraries so that they can put it up on their Facebook page. Do you know, I'm not sure that we can give this storybook to that pirate who sent us down to the bottom of the sea, because some treasure isn't meant for keeping. Stories, they're meant for sharing. You have proved yourselves to be very clever, very brave story hunters, and I look forward to joining you for another story hunt very soon. Give yourselves a big pat on the back and take a round of applause. I hope you've enjoyed this very special story hunt brought to you by On 5 Libraries. Keep checking for events and activities on 5 Library, spelled Library. You can keep in touch with what's going on in Fife via their website or follow them on social media. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Bookbug Big Splash Week, and I look forward to sharing stories with you again very soon. Bye bye!